Going to get started. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. Can you try unmuting it, Marie?
Unmuting works, but I just can't, we can't turn our cameras on, so I'm not sure why.
Oh, okay, now it should work. Perfect. Okay, give me 1 second here and promote Adeline to panelist from attendees. Okay, cool. Welcome back, everyone. Glad to see everyone back, and hopefully everyone had a safe and happy break. As you can see, I'm not Lexi. She has prior obligations, but hopefully today goes smoothly. We can get through quickly. I know it's silly week, and we have a lot of other things on the agenda. I mean, not on the agenda, but in our lives as well, and hopefully nothing blows up. So I call this meeting to order on Wednesday, January 20th, 7:06 p.m. Secretary, can you please take opening roll call?
Yes. RC Kalor. Here. Adeline Mishler.
Here.
Alexander Wu.
Here.
Amanda Bird.
Here.
Amy Gary. Anna Taylor.
Here.
Anne Marie Round Sorensen.
Here.
Blake Tolliver.
Here.
Brian Schultz. Cameron McColgan.
Here.
Kara Flegel.
Here.
Dan Resser.
Here.
Emmanuel Alamonte.
Here.
Aaron Bowes.
Here.
Jarrell Gibbs. John Mark Miller. Joshua Reynolds.
Here.
Kaylee Quinnen.
Here.
Cara DeLucio.
Here.
Kelly Snyder. Kyle Quinn.
Here.
Lakin Meter.
Here.
Lewis Richardson.
Here.
Marie Meisner.
Here.
Maddie McIntyre.
Here.
Megan Dalo.
Here.
Najee Rodriguez.
Here.
Noah Robertson.
Here.
Patricia Barangi.
Here.
Rainier Foley Di Fiore.
Here.
Refugio Lara.
Here.
Brian Liscalzo. Samantha Brown. Sarah Jordan.
Here.
Siddhi Deshpande.
Here.
Sophia Paleo.
Here.
Stephen Zhang.
Here.
Sydney Gibbard.
Here.
Tim Tierney.
Here.
Sharao Shi.
Here.
Eugene Young. Yuna Choi. Cassie Minetti Zhao.
Here.
Is there anyone's name I missed?
All right, seeing none, I'll move on to the next item for the adoption of the agenda. Are there any points or motions on the floor? Representative Robertson?
Hi, can I motion to add the resolution supporting the creation of Ally House Junior and its Transgender Dysphoria Relief Fund to the agenda as, I guess, under like 11A of new business?
And I see a few seconds for that. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, resolution 4515 is added to new business. Are there any other points or motions on the floor? Seeing none, we'll move to the adoption of the past meeting minutes. Are there any points or motions? All right, seeing none and taking general consensus, we'll move on to the next line item with a special presentation. So everyone, please welcome Laura Hall from Campus Recreation. Laura, can you hear us?
I can, yep.
All right, perfect. You will have 5 minutes to speak and then 10 minutes for questions whenever you're ready.
Awesome, thanks, Stephen. Hi, everybody, good evening, and thanks so much for the invite to come. This is one of my presentations each year that I definitely look forward to. So you know what, I did not prepare a ton of information, and that was purposeful. I'm really hoping to leave ample time to get some feedback from you all and plenty of time for questions. I figured I'd talk in broad strokes, and then if you have follow-up questions, I'm happy to answer those. What I thought is we'd do a quick overview of what we're up to in Campus Rec, what we're able to achieve in the fall, expanded programming that we're really hoping for in the spring, and then just really briefly touch on the build out of the Esports Lounge that I came to UPUA last year and spoke about. That's in the White Building, and then also about an upcoming presentation that I'm going to be making for the Fee Board regarding the Stone Valley Outdoor Recreation and Wellbeing Center. So starting with the fall, you know, in talking about the fall, I'm really glad to have this opportunity in person to see you and thank you for your ongoing support and advocacy for campus recreation. You know, waiting the 8 weeks that we had to wait to open campus rec facilities, despite the fact that we absolutely believed we were ready to serve our students, was honestly the most frustrating period of my 25-year career. And I absolutely believe that it was through your resolution and advocacy and pressure, quite frankly, on university leadership, and particularly the COVID decision makers, that enabled us to open. And so please understand that as I share these successes from the fall, I absolutely believe that they're collaborative, as they have been. You know, UPUA has been incredibly supportive over my 4 years here, and it's just something we really appreciate. From last March to present, we have continued to employ, you know, our employment numbers of students has definitely gone down through COVID, but we still have more than 700 students on payroll, and we are paying at minimum since March about 300 or 450 students per payroll period. So that's something we're really proud of, because being student fee funded as we are, it was really important to us to figure out a way to continue to employ our students through means that would still advance their learning outside the classroom and soft skills. So we had virtual employment opportunities, and then once we reopened, we had in-person, obviously, employment opportunities for our students. Per your, again, another resolution about the $3 per hour pay raise. We adopted that in support of you, just as you had supported us. And so all of our students working in person were automatically given a $3 per hour wage increase from whatever wage they were at, as a appreciation and incentive for working in person. Since March, we logged more than 80,000 hours of participation via our virtual program. So things like we have, more than 100 fitness classes, both live and cataloged on our website that students can tune into. We had virtual personal training that actually students could engage in for free, just to try to help any way we could to keep you all active and as healthy as possible in super challenging situations. We had virtual IM sports, esports leagues, trivia nights. I don't know if any of you have tuned into our Twitch channel, but it's been really, really successful, hosted by student employees that do an amazing job and are super engaging. And we even did, our Outdoor Adventures crew did virtual trip planning. So while we weren't allowed to offer outdoor recreation trips, we could help students plan their trips in safe and responsible ways. And then they can rent equipment through us, but we help them understand what's a achievable and safe way to get into the outdoors. Now our in-person offerings starting in September really felt more impactful than ever. Whether it was access to workout spaces, indoor tennis, lap swimming, IM sports, outdoor and indoor fitness classes, yoga classes, it really became important for students to see each other in person, for us to see students in person, and it was a huge shot in the arm. So for the spring, we're hoping to add things like kayak roll clinics in the natatorium. We're hoping to add more hours of workout time reservations. We are hoping to engage, allow our club sports to engage in some form of in-person gatherings, whether it's group workout spaces that we facilitate, or group workouts that we facilitate, that sort of thing. But we definitely are trying very, very hard to expand what we offered in the fall. And then last year I came about the Esports Lounge. Super happy to report to you all that we have begun officially the design and build, and anticipate that Esports Lounge in the White Building being ready to open no later than fall. So that's super exciting for us. It allows us to serve a segment of our students that we're not currently serving. And so we're super stoked about that. And then finally, I'm submitting a proposal to the fee board here next month regarding Stone Valley outdoor recreation and well-being. The first phase, what we're presenting to the fee board, is for the build out of a beach, a sand beach and swim area, beach volleyball, a outdoor amphitheater specifically designed for student groups to reserve at no cost because it's student fee funded, so there is a cost, but no additional cost. And then the Wellbeing Center is something we're really super excited about. We obviously have lots of well-being opportunities on campus, but there's nothing like getting 18 minutes away where it's quiet and still, away from the hustle and bustle of campus, to really unplug, renew, and allow our students to understand what we mean when we talk holistic well-being. So that's my super quick run through. Would love to answer any questions you all have, or even just hear feedback that you have.
All right, thank you, Laura. Are there any questions or feedback for Laura Hall? I'll start with Chair Jordan.
Hi, Laura. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming and talking to us today. So my question for you is, like, for the spring semester, I know we mentioned it, so will it still be the same like reservation system as the fall, or will it be a little bit more different, new approaches, or how did you guys see that approach working this past semester?
Yeah, less than a perfect approach for sure, but it is really the only way we can figure out how to manage the reduced capacities in the facility. So what we're hoping to do, Sarah, is increase the number of reservation spots via expanding our hours as best we can accommodate through student staffing, quite frankly, but to increase our hours so that more students per day can be accommodated. We've also moved equipment around. We were super busy over break, so we have more slots available per hour within capacity limits. So that's cool. So we'll be able to accommodate about 56 more students per hour for spring. So that's, we moved 14,000 pounds of weights from the white building, which unfortunately we can't open because of heating and ventilation, HVAC concerns with COVID, but we moved all as much equipment as we could up to IM where we can accommodate students. Thanks for the question, Sarah.
All right, Chair Mishler.
Hi, Laura. Thanks so much for coming in and talking with us. So my question is, and you hit on it just a little bit about kind of like the delayed start here in the spring and facilities being closed, which is understandable, of course, but I have been getting a lot of students' concerns about that the facilities not being opened. So I was just wondering if you could talk a little bit behind the, the decision making there, some of the challenges that you're facing, if there's any ways that we can, be stronger advocates or help in any way to with transition processes and keeping students safe, but also having facilities operating.
Appreciate that, Adeline. So I think your advocacy in the fall actually helped us in the spring. I asked the question the end of November, hey, are we going to be allowed to open, is right after the holidays, and was told no. As we started to get feedback from students after the new year, it did not take as many as we got last year, which I know both you, Adeline, and Sarah are well aware of how many students contacted us because I kept forwarding them. So we're allowed to open 1 week sooner. So we will be opening on the 8th instead of on the 15th, which is not great. With that being said, with the return testing, we are running into challenges in getting all of our student staff through that testing process. I don't know if you all have had similar challenges, but we have run into some delays and challenges in communication, or the students are running into that with Vault. So we will have the student staff in the facility 1 week prior. We need to do some training and, just kind of finalizing some moving of equipment and that, but then we'll be ready to go. So not ideal, but at least a week sooner.
All right, are there any other questions for Laura? All right, if not, thank you so much for coming in today, Laura. You're free to stay for the rest of this meeting, but if not, again, thank you so much. It was great having you.
Thank you all, appreciate it. And if you do have feedback moving forward, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm always happy to hear from any of you.
Yep, we'll let you know. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving next onto the agenda. Are there any students here for Open Student Forum? All right, I see Nekla. If you can please state your name and constituency, or name and academic college, and you may speak.
Hi, my name is Nezla. I am in two colleges. I'm in College of Liberal Arts and the College of Eberly College of Science. I'm not sure when I'm supposed to speak. I'm sorry. I'm like a representative for Ally House Jr. And I remember hearing someone say that I should talk during open forum, but.
Yep, you're good. You're good. Go for it.
Oh, I'm not I was mostly here for questions, and once the bill gets presented, I just wanted to announce my presence so that people know I'm here.
Okay, yeah, that's perfectly fine. We can yield your time for questions when the resolution comes up as well. Thank you, Nishla.
Yeah, no problem.
Is anyone else here for Open Student Forum? Seeing none, we'll now hear a report by the president, President Mckay.
Hey everyone, it's great to see you again. I hope you're doing well, that your breaks were restful and refreshing. That certainly was for me, and I know that we'll need it getting into this next semester. Nevertheless, I know you'll all crush it out of the park, and I hope that you know that if there's anything I can do to aid you as we make it through the next few months and rounding out our terms, please let me know, because I'm always here to try and find that support for you. I'd like to just briefly begin on some reminding words of wisdom, if you will, that I left the General Assembly at the start of our terms, but which I think still ring true today. Throughout the next semester, I really would like to encourage that those, especially here tonight, treat everyone that you meet, including those you interact with dignity and respect. The Golden Rule teaches us to treat others as we'd like to be treated. Follow it with great diligence. Only when those you serve see that you'll treat them the same way that you'd treat a family member, a good friend, and even yourself, will they truly believe in your capacity to treat others fairly and honorably too. Second, hold honesty and integrity at the center of your leadership philosophy. These two tenets are required for any leadership philosophy. Without them, trust will be incredibly hard to develop with anybody. Remember in every situation that honesty is the best policy and that the truth is your truest friend. Work to integrate these in all of your work and throughout the organization, even long after you leave the university. Always do more than it is expected of you. There is no exception to do better than those who've come before you, and there is very little to do more than is required of you. Do more still. Recognize that whether you see it or not, many students, perhaps even fellow representatives alongside you, look to you as an example. You must strive to do better, to raise the standard, and to strengthen the organization that is the UPUA. In doing so, it will be able to represent students more effectively in years to come, and those students deserve a better student government, which did more in your time so that they can do even more in theirs. And lastly, show kindness, compassion, and empathy. Without these, you will have a hard time strengthening your team's bond. With them, you will consistently find that even through the toughest of times, you will be able to navigate without falling apart because those around you know that you hold these close to your core. Take a moment to ask how you've shown these to those around you. And if you believe you're lacking in one of those areas, think as to how you might be able to better demonstrate it on a day-to-day basis. Be sure to lead with integrity, listen with diligence, play by the rules, and always do what is right and just. It's your turn to set the example here, 15th. The 16th, the 20th, the 30th, and more assemblies are counting on you, and we'll look back to this example in the next few months that we round out here. Most importantly, the student body that elected all of us is still counting on us today, and they'll count on us tomorrow. A few reporting words with regard to some things that we've been up to, because we have been up to things, surprisingly. Meetings with the administration regarding the 2018 sexual misconduct survey, which we've admittedly been having a hard time finding. It's not necessarily been very easy finding that data, but we would like to, as Lexi and I ran on, make sure that those surveys are not only institutionalized, but that we find really how we can improve from the data we collected in the 2018. Those meetings are going really well. It sounds like the administration's putting pressure on some of the offices who might just be a little behind and understaffed, very candidly, to make sure that we are transparent with the data that we have. And so it's good that we're keeping up on the pressure in that sense. Some internal sense or updates include an update from technology. We are currently working on a program sort of similar to Thon's think.thon.org to hopefully increase our accessibility with regard to getting involved in the UPUA, as well as finding access to our member directory. We have all of these things on our website now, but if you aren't familiar with the navigation on it, it's pretty hard to find. And so, this might enable us to better connect with the student body in that sense. We're also having conversations, pretty in-depth conversations, about student government payment and how we can find ways to increase the equitability of those serving in roles like this one, as well as some leadership roles throughout the Assembly and Judicial Board as well. Primarily, our first-year Council Executive Director, Kathy Zhao, is doing a lot of benchmarking and research from institutions across our country, and the administration's been willing to meet with us to talk about how we can further some of those as well. So I'll be sure to keep you updated if we end up coming up with a solution. And I'm sure many of you also saw that from this point on, the executive branch will have weekly reports delivered to your doorstep, no later by steering meetings on Sundays, so that, very similar to you, we stay as transparent as possible, and that you can really get an inside look on what's going on from our end, and allow the exec directors to talk about some of the really great work that their departments are up to. Some that I do want to touch on include sustainability. We've been finding ways to kind of mitigate the enlarged size of the department, including the creation of the departments of rights and equity and health and wellness. This will enable us, as those executive orders mention, to focus on things which have been often overlooked by the UPUA, including things like tenant rights, finding ways to support survivors of things like sexual assault and misconduct, as well as focus on other areas of health and wellness which may be lacking in our past, such as sexual health, or may have been, I suppose, wrongly programmed, sexual health, mental health and wellness, emotional well-being, physical health and exercise, and the like. With regard to finance, all of our check reimbursements should be in. If anybody's waiting to turn a check that they have or something in, something like that in, please get it in. Tony's really good at getting stuff back. And I'm really grateful to have her on the team to help us in that sense. And then civic engagement, we've been working with the, I suppose, acting chair of the Governmental Affairs Committee to create the University Park Civic Engagement Roundtable, also by an executive order, kind of working to instill some of the shortcomings of the PSU Votes Roundtable, an entity which I'm very much so obliged to, and ensure that civic engagement across our campus continues to thrive in the years to come. And then I also just want to give a huge shout out to the executive director of First Year Council again for their Mingle event. Kathy, you did a great job with our freshmen getting to meet with some of our members this Monday. Thanks to everyone who came out for it. And we had a meeting with the new Board of Trustees leadership. And the good news is they're incredibly excited to work with us. We ended on a bit of a high note in maybe not the best ways last time, talking about some things like climate action. But I'm super excited to see that the new board leadership are very willing to hear students' concerns. And I think we'll see some serious progress in that sense in the years to come. Lastly, if you haven't applied or haven't been made aware, the student trustee application is now available. Any student who has at least 2 years left at the university, even if you're a senior, but you're going to be here for grad school or law school or something like that, can apply. Additionally, any student can apply to serve on the selection committee. So be sure to give those a shot if you haven't already. And be sure to reach out to the current student trustee if you have any questions.
All right.
That's all I have.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure. Are there any questions or comments for President Mckay? Seeing none, we'll move on to a report by the Vice President. I don't know if Zach, if you or anyone else has Vice President Pathikal's report.
I do have Lexi's report. So I'll try. I swear I'm done after this. You won't hear from me again all night. Hey all, apologies for missing tonight's meeting. I had a prior commitment to Lion Ambassadors I had to make, but I hope that you all had a restful break and we're ready to finish out the 15th Assembly strong. I'll be quick as I can in this report, but overall, Zach and I definitely stayed busy throughout the break. She's right. I was able to attend the Performing Arts Council meeting on December 21st at 7 p.m. I was invited to attend and was grateful to be in the room to listen to the concerns of performing arts groups on campus and how we can aid them in their struggles that COVID-19 has brought on. Last week, the Vice President had a call with Tim Benally, who is the president of the IPSA, just to see how else the UPUA and IPSA can finish off the year strong, especially as our terms are dwindling down. So far, the Land Acknowledgement initiative has been gaining positive traction from all levels of the university. And once it is finalized, Chair Najee Rodriguez will spearhead a physical commemoration to recognize the acknowledgement on campus. I was also able to attend the Finance, Business, and Capital Planning meeting where they discussed the room and board changes. Obviously, with students returning to campus on February 15th, there will be a change in cost for students living on campus. If you would like to talk more on this, please give me a call or text, and I'd be happy to discuss the details with you. I was also able to attend the university leadership meeting with President Mckay, where we got a lot of reception, and I have a great feeling that Zach discussed this as well, so I won't waste your time, LOL. I didn't, because I know that you would mention this. The meeting went really well, and they were open to hearing ideas like the POW-MIA Chair of Honor, the land acknowledgement, climate action, and the like. Again, a very, very good meeting with administrators there. As for the rest of the week, Zach and I will be meeting with Provost Jones on Friday, and as usual, please call or text us if you'd like to relay anything. As usual, please reach out in all caps, anything, literally anything. I want you all to finish out the 15th super strong. That's it.
All right, are there any questions for Vice President Pathical? Seeing none, we'll move on to liaison reports. Is anyone here liaison to have a report? All right, seeing no liaison reports, we'll move now into a 5-minute caucus breakout. See you guys at 7:41.
So how was winter break for everybody?
Winter break was good, restful, yeah.
How about you?
That was pretty good. I went ahead and went back over my econ lectures because I just glazed and stumbled my way through them last semester. So it was nice to be able to actually comprehensively digest what went on in the class. Other than that, read a bit, ran a bit. It was nice. Hype for this semester. Hopefully we can get back to campus on the 15th and do some things in person.
What book did you say you were reading?
Yeah, I've been reading, I was reading some Robert Greene, and now I'm looking at Dale Carnegie, and also, shoot, I forget what else. There was something else. Have you been reading anything, Amy?
I read fiction.
Hey, that's
But
good. I
I
love
was
fiction.
reading
too.
Little Fires Everywhere. So good. I wanted to watch the show.
Mhm.
So I felt like I had to read it.
What's that about?
It's about basically like two families, but they're very different. And like one of the families is a mother and a daughter, and the rest is like there's like 6 of them. But the mother and daughter like move into the house, an apartment thing that the bigger family owns, and it's like a whole situation going on with the two families that like they kind of don't like each other, but kind of like do like each other depending on like the characters. But it's really good, and I would absolutely recommend it, and I'm excited to watch it.
The Little Fires, what's that called again?
Little Fires Everywhere.
Yeah, I think I want to reread The Alchemist too. It's such a short, beautiful book. Definitely my favorite book. If you ever read it, Paulo Coelho.
I haven't read it, but I have heard good things.
It's pretty easy to get through, but it's got a lot of good stuff in it. It's got a nice little colorful cover as well. Honestly, if Steven did that, I wouldn't even complain because I don't know what they have, so it'd be a good chance to find out. Never turned down Asian chicken. I love with passion, almost as much as I love fried chicken. I'm from the South, so I can't possibly say that anything's better than fried chicken, but Asian chicken is right up there.
to avoid an awkward silence. And I have a question. So, like, I'm trying to take a double major, but like I probably won't be able to finish all my classes if I do a double major. So, like, what's the difference between like major and minor? Like, anyone knows?
You take less classes if it's a minor.
Yeah, and
Oh.
like really have the same weight as like a formal, like, because a double major is like you're getting a second degree, but a minor is more kind of like a certificate / like, I don't know, specialty and something that you enjoy that you can talk about, but it's not really like, oh, it's a second degree.
If you
Honestly,
go to, what was it?
you first.
I was just gonna say, I mean, I'm sure you know about it, but you can just go to PSU bulletins and compare the two. Like when I was looking at Spanish and Chinese major versus minor, some majors are not that much more work than the minors. Like if you're getting the minor, you can throw in a few extra classes and you'll have a major because of the overlap of the more open credits, whereas some majors are actually way more serious than their minors. So that really depends on what you're going for. And I think depends on if they're in the same college or not.
I think right before we jump into new business, because we're running a bit over time. Honestly, I think college is a scam in the end anyways. But like if you're looking at it, I think people are just gonna look at a minor as like kind of like half a major, even if you learn just as much skills or even if it's just as difficult. Like in the real world, I think employers are just gonna see a major and be like, oh, like he put the same amount of extensive work into 2 sections. If you have a minor, it's like, oh, okay, they explored that, but instead it's not like a full-fledged education. But honestly, I think to be honest, like I feel like if you have a really good major, if you want to minor in something and you have like the experience to back it up, it probably wouldn't be that bad. Like I think, I mean, obviously I wouldn't advocate for maybe staying another semester or year just to finish a minor into a major, but yeah, I think it's kind of variable depending on which ones you are going into. But typically employers just look at it as like, oh, like he did like 2 majors, which equals like a lot more work than a minor, but you know. Okay, let's jump into new business here, starting with Resolution 4515, supporting the creation of Alley House Junior and its Transgender Dysphoria Relief Fund. Let me pull it up, and here we go. And then Representative Robertson, whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you. So hi, everyone. Hope you all had a very refreshing break. I'm glad to be back and introduce this resolution supporting the creation of Ally House Junior and its Transgender Dysphoria Relief Fund. This initiative was really started by Nejla Kara, who serves as the president of Ally House, the special living option. And he's able to join us tonight too, which was super exciting to see. Essentially what this resolution does is help promote Ally House Junior fundraising events and grand opening as we go, I guess, closer to the date. The grand opening is later this year. And the first real step for this fundraising that Nejla was describing to me, and I put it in the email that I sent to you all with like the resolution in it, is the January 22nd deadline for a fundraising event. And I talked a little bit about that in the nature of the situation. And this contest can provide up to $11,000 to fund, I guess, different initiatives on various college campuses. And it's split across 3 projects at Penn State. Each participant can increase their funding by having students like RSVP to the grand event that's happening later this year. And I reached out to Representative Lascalzo, who also helped with this resolution a lot. And we put a little bit of information into the resolution that also talks about various universities also having dysphoria funds for transgender or just otherwise gender non-conforming students. And we really see this as an opportune way for like Ally House Junior to be created and Penn State to begin its own transgender dysphoria fund as well. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to discussing this. I can also stand for any questions, and Nejla is here as well if anyone has questions about like Ally House as a special living option or Ally House Junior. Thank you.
All right, are there any questions for Representative Robertson or Nejla? Oh, Representative Reynolds.
I was just gonna say, if Nisla had, is it Nisla? if Nisla had anything he wanted to share, any information he wanted to give about this, I yield time.
Well, yeah, sure. So my name's Nejla. Sorry, I always have to say that in like the beginning of my classes because I get to the end of like a semester and my teacher will like be like, "It was nice having you in semester, Nekla." But so it is. This initiative is like very, very convoluted. So if anyone has any questions about like the logistics or anything, I can definitely share those because it is very hard to understand the way that I went about trying to apply for this fundraiser and getting it on campus and stuff.
All right. Are there any other questions for Representative Robertson Nejla? Seeing none, is there any discussion? Okay, I had a thing, but since I'm chair, I can't make friendly amendments, but I sent them to Representative Robertson, so if he can pull those up. Yep, Representative Robertson.
Okay, sorry. I didn't know that was the case. Let me pull it up quick.
You're good,
Okay,
you're good.
so a few friendly amendments. I motion to amend the first paragraph, change inclusive to inclusive, just like a few spelling errors inside of there that we must have missed. Second paragraph change to help transgender students transition to transitioning transgender students, just for, I guess, sentence structure and flow. Third paragraph, change no to known. And fourth paragraph, add dash to non-binary and amend the spelling of Stanford. And that's everything, I believe.
All right. I see a second from Representative Reynolds, and it's taken as friendly. Is there any other discussion on this resolution? Yeah, that's fine, Adeline. Representative Robertson, if you wanted to motion to vote by unanimous consent, that's fine with me. Otherwise, I have the form set up, but that's up to you.
Yeah, I guess motion to vote by unanimous consent if we're down to do that.
All right, and I see a second. I'm just going to take general consensus. If there's any objections, please put them in the chat. All right, seeing none, resolution 4515, supporting the creation of the Ally House Junior and its Transgender Dysphoria Relief Fund passes unanimously.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, moving on down the agenda. Next is a report by the Chief Justice of the Judicial Board, Chief Justice Zaya.
Hey everyone, hope everyone had a great break. Just some updates from the J board. We released our decision regarding the elections code, which passed unanimously from the board as well. So that whole debacle went through pretty quick. We will also be releasing a decision tomorrow about regarding the community group seats from just the classification into inherent and student identity. The formal decision will be coming out tomorrow, and the board will be meeting on Monday to discuss some further matters regarding the election, such as information sessions, town hall dates, and just some more topics about the election. And that's really all we have going on right now. We're kind of shifting gears towards the election.
All right, are there any questions for Chief Justice Zaya? Seeing none, I'll move on to executive reports. Are there any executive directors here with a report?
Hi. Yeah, can I just say something really quickly?
Yep.
So the forms for mentors and mentees will close this Sunday at 11:59. So please get your forms in if you haven't already. If you came to the meeting yesterday, thank you so much. If you couldn't make it, no problem. Just reach out to me and fill out the form. And I'm gonna put it in the chat real quick.
there any questions for Executive Director Kathy Zhao? Seeing none, are there any other executive reports? All right, moving into report by the Speaker of the Assembly. Well, I guess that's me. Hey guys, nice to see everyone again. I think a lot has happened in the past month. I think there's been a lot of conflict, a lot of stress, but at the same time, we're moving into a new year. There's a lot of transitions going on across the world, but also across Penn State. So let's make sure that we are making the most of our time. That again, as President Mckay said, that we're being kind, that we're being empathetic, and that we're really trying to make the most of the rest of this semester. I just have a few announcements to make. So one of the things that I'll be bringing up either tonight or tomorrow once I finish it, a really quick change on the Constitution solidifying the date of elections, which will be March 31st of this year. Just wanted to put that on people's radars because that wasn't in the elections code, that was supposed to be in the Constitution. So I met with the other organizations that typically have elections with us and they're okay with that date. It should be right in line with what we usually do. So if you're planning on running, note that March 31st is election day. The 2 weeks leading up to that is going to be campaigning. The 2 weeks before that is registration. Kathy, myself, and Zach have been working on a little retreat-ish kind of thing that we're trying to set for next Monday at 7 to 8:30. I know it's a bit tight, but please try to make it if you can. It's going to be a lot of bonding, a lot of fun things, so that we're just getting away from the day-to-day UPUA agenda and busy work, and kind of seeing each other as students and friends outside of the regular representative things that we do. I'll be sending out itinerary tonight. I know that there's going to be conflicts with the time. I know that there's going to be conflicts with really any of the times we set this year, because I think there's a lot more going on in the evenings, especially with classes now that we're going remote. So we'll try to do more events on other days as well to be more inclusive. But next week is going to be our first one, Monday, 7 to 8:30 p.m. I'll send out email after this. Everyone in UPUA is invited. It's not just legislative branch. So it's gonna be a cool time to really get to know more people and on a deeper level outside of just the work we do as representatives. So please save that date. Next Monday at 7 p.m. is the steering mandated sexual assault prevention leadership workshop. And that's also going to be at 7 p.m. We're having Becca Geiger come in from the Gender Equity Center, I believe, and something that Director Aaron Brown has been working on the executive branch for the past semester. So really excited for that. Getting some really more workshops in for this semester as well. So yeah, next Monday and next Monday, both at 7 o'clock are going to be events. The one next Monday is optional, but really highly recommended. The one next Monday is mandated, and we'll be taking attendance for that. I'll send out reminders as necessary. But yeah, hopefully we'll get more workshops in professional development and bonding exercises in this year, this semester. I know that last semester that was a big ask, and I think it's one of the things that leadership could have really done better at the beginning of the semester, myself included. And we'll make sure that that's a part of really everything we do this year, getting better, knowing each other better, and really getting more connected. So yeah, that's my report. There's a few other things that I've been working on, but those can be read in the agenda. So yeah, are there any questions or comments for me?
Hi. Oh, sorry. Hi, everybody. I'm Patty, if you remember me, the chair of AC. It's so weird being back in front of you guys again. But yeah, for AC, just wanted to let everybody know that if you're interested in joining, we do meet on Sunday at 1 p.m. So if you're interested, shoot me a text or like a Zoom DM and we can get that situated. Over a break, I've just kind of been working a little bit with the administration, with AQ, with some search committees. As some of you may know, our vice president of undergraduate education retired, so was working over break to help fill that role, interviewing different candidates and stuff. So hopefully by mid-semester, we should have a new vice president of undergraduate education. I'm really confident in all of the applicants that we kind of move forward, that they should be really student-friendly and kind of help to move the university forward. Where I just want to also remind the AAC student caucus or student senators that faculty senate will be coming up this Tuesday. So just be prepared to be able to make that meeting, to make your respective committee meetings, and also discuss everything that we go over in student caucus. And most of you guys might want to know, alternative grading is being worked on. A lot of good improvements being made there, and we should have more information by next week about what's really going to happen with that. For this semester, we have high hopes that hopefully it's reinstated, but won't know for sure until next week. And other than that, just please make sure to attend committee. If you can't attend, let Sydney know. If you want to be a member, let me know or Sydney know, and we'll add you to the roster. And I'm excited for the second half of the 15th. Let me know if you have any questions.
Are there any questions for Chair Baranji? Seeing none, we'll move on to facilities with Chair Jordan.
Hi, everyone. Really nice to see you all again. I'm happy to be back. Happy second semester. So into my report, I know last semester order ahead dining, so you guys know Penn State Eats was released. If you have used that, if you have used that and have any feedback, good or bad, or things that you like and you want to see more of, please let me or Amy know. We really just want to have our relationship, grow with the Penn State Eats team. They're really helpful to us throughout the whole summer, throughout the whole first semester. So please reach out if you have any more questions or have any ideas. We would love to hear them. Thank you again for everyone for sharing the Lyft subsidy codes on the social media. I will get back to you all when we hear like how many people use the codes, redeem them throughout the December and as well as the January one. I'm going to explore the option of possibly opening another one back up in February for when students freshmen and other people return back to campus for like that last half of the semester. If you have any other ideas on how we can help with the return to campus, then reach out to me. I'd love to talk. A little bit more into my report. I have done a lot of benchmarking for a lot of initiatives, so you can look at that in the written report. I don't want to waste anybody's time here right now. But one big thing is for other people who may need this information, I do sit on the hub allocation board. I'm in the subcommittee for the renewing of the office proposal processes for next year. So the subcommittee is currently making their report right now to give to the full board soon. Because of COVID, it's kind of everybody's been a little bit different with their office spaces in the hub. So we're trying to see how the students who couldn't use it this year can use it again next year. So we'll let you know when we get that full report in and kind of what that process will look like. Because I know a lot of you guys are in other orgs and want to give that information. It's really, a specialty to get office in the hub. So definitely want to keep you guys in the loop with that. But other than that, facilities committee will be meeting Sunday at 12. As you guys saw on Teams, come prepare with your initiative report updates. I expect a report from everyone. And freshmen, I don't know if any of you guys are on here, first years, please, if you're interested in facilities, come see what it's about. We love to have new people always. I'm here if you guys want to meet beforehand. Really want to be that resource for you all. But that's all for me. I'll stand for any questions. I'm happy to be back. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week.
Are there any questions for Chair Jordan? Seeing none, we'll move into governmental affairs with Acting Chair Risser.
Hello, everyone. I know I don't look like Tom. It's because I'm not Tom. Surprise, surprise. So unfortunately, Tom gave me a call on Sunday afternoon and announced his resignation. And I would encourage everyone to read his attached resignation letter in the official report in the record. And if you see Tom, give him a text, give him a wave, thank him for his service. He's done so much good for this committee and throughout the 15th Assembly, and it's a real shame to see him go. That being said, if you're interested in the position of Gov Affairs Chair, we will be holding a special election during Assembly next week. Same place, same time as always. Same kind of gist as all the confirmations, speak for 5 minutes and 10 minutes of questioning. So if you're interested in that at all, or even just being on Gov at all for any freshmen who may be on the call, feel free to give me a text, shoot me an email. I'd love to talk about the position.
Are there any questions for Acting Chair Risser? Seeing none, we move on to Justice and Equity with Chair Rodriguez.
Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Nice to be reunited with you all virtually. I missed you. Quickly delving into this and speeding through it. Established a new meeting time for the President's Commission on LGBTQ plus equity, and we will be compiling a synthesis of our findings from the community survey. If you want to be a part of that research project, it's a really rewarding opportunity, and I'd love to have you on board and to go ahead and onboard you with any information or ask or request for any assistance so we can present this report to President Barron at the end of the semester. So please let me know if you'd be interested. Calendly. You have not escaped me, and you will not escape me. If you have not scheduled a Calendly meeting with me, please go ahead and do so at the Calendly link that I put in the Teams that I will then submit again tonight on our Teams page. And I hope to see all of you individually, to meet up virtually, to talk about our future, our lives, and what's next in the next decade. The Women's Empowerment Roundtable is still ongoing, and I'm really proud of all the work that's been put into it. Please contact Representative Bowes if you have interest in this semester, given perhaps more availability or more freedom to join more things. Her team would love to have you on board, and I'm really excited to see where we go next. I also wanted to share that we are so close for action with the Wally Triplet and Jesse Arnell realistic memorials that we're trying to achieve here, and especially with the land acknowledgement plaques that are seemingly becoming more of a possibility. I recently reached out to the Public Art Committee with the help of Chair Jordan. So I'm really excited to schedule a meeting with the two co-chairs to see how we can submit an application to officially submit an order for these commemorative items moving forward. And I'd love to have you on board the team if you are at all interested. I'm meeting with Dynasty Wright, the president of First Gen Advocates for First Generation Advocacy. We hope to distribute school materials to the student body in bags, and we also hope to have a week of advocacy in relation to first generation students to hopefully invite speakers and even more. So please contact me if you're interested in being part of that team as well. I met with Representative Deshbande, Zhao, and McColgan over the break to initiate communication with the new director of the UHS to discuss physical vouchers and prescription subsidies. We decided to tackle prescription subsidies because if there was a malady discovered with the free physical voucher, to really close those health inequities, our plan was to then allow for vouchers to exist at the UHS pharmacy so students could afford prescriptions if they needed it. So if you're interested in that, let us know as well. We are in the process of scheduling a meeting with Damon Sims and university administrative leaders and community group representatives to discuss our new banner initiative that will be discussed more intricately at the segue here. Our meeting on Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are at all interested, again, go ahead and look at the Teams. The Zoom link is there. To even showcase mercy, we will perhaps be moving the time from 4:30 to 5:30. Let me know if you're interested in coming. Please reach out and contact me. I've already scheduled meetings with people that wanted more information about justice and equity, and we'd all love to have you on the team. So that being said, have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday and enjoy your week. See you on Friday.
Any questions for Chair Rodriguez? Seeing none, we'll move to Student Life with Chair Mishler.
Hi, everybody. Hope everyone had a happy and restful break. And I'm so excited to be back for my final semester and my final term months of being a representative, and I'm so excited to help you all finish out your terms here in the UPUA. And so I'll lead by saying student life. I sent a message in the Teams last week. We meet on Thursdays at 6 p.m., which will most likely stay unless there's kind of like an outcry of that's a conflict time. Everyone and anyone is welcome to join us at that time and work with our committee, whether you're exec or a younger student who's not a representative, we will be happy to have you and have you on our projects. So Thursdays at 6 p.m., I'll make sure to drop the Zoom link to the entire teams tomorrow. And we also will be voting on two awesome bills actually tomorrow in committee. So it's super important that you attend and can have a voice and help us get those voted through committee so that they can come to the assembly floor. And they're both super exciting. We have some guests coming in to speak about them. So please give us your time and attention, and I will see you in committee, which I'm super looking forward to tomorrow. Over the break, I'm devoting most of my time to meetings surrounding spring wellness days. If you are on the student life committee or not on the student life committee and have an interest in spring wellness days, what's going on, who's leading them, what is programming looking like, come to me. Patty is also sitting on a committee as well, so she can speak more. Tomorrow, I have a meeting with Dan Murphy, who's chairing the programming efforts surrounding Spring Wellness Days, to talk about student outreach and making sure that we're communicating properly to students surrounding these days. If you have any ideas on efforts that the UPUA should be spearheading on those 3 days, come to me. Let's get it going. I would be more than happy to do so, keeping in mind that the first one will be fully virtual. So please come to me with any questions, text, email, come to committee and ask me on the spot, whatever. Also been devoting a lot of time to mental health and wellness. The roundtable kicked off right before break, which has been great. The team has been assembling social media content to do a mental health Mondays on our social media. So that's super great to look forward to, and talking about some new programming and speaking events coming up down the line here in terms of mental health and wellness. The sexual violence awareness and prevention team has been super busy planning the speakers. That's one of the bills coming tomorrow. Awesome work happening there, collaboration with other organizations, really the epitome of what UPUA does best here. So I'm super excited for that to happen. And we also will be launching the roundtable in the coming weeks, spearheaded by Cara DeLucio and Sydney Gibbard. So cool stuff. And shout out to Aaron Brown, who's been doing so much with helping us with speaking events. And Zach and Lexi mentioned earlier some meetings we've been having with student affairs surrounding sexual violence data at the university. And some newer projects that are coming up in that realm as well at the university that we will have a hand in. Some meetings this week, and we also have another bill I've been working with Kathy Zhao surrounding We Care, bringing that back. All things that we'll go over in committee, but just important to have on your radars. I am a final semester senior here, guys, so anything you come to me with, I am going to meet it with so much enthusiasm and passion, because I'm running out of time and I can't say no to anything at this point. So yes, let's do it. High energy. We gotta live it all out here. And you know, the terms are 2 months out. So this is the time. The time is now. And I'm super excited. So whether it's a project, or you want to talk about Penn State, or you want to talk about what it's like after you graduate, let's do it. I'm super excited and willing to do that with you all, and really just trying to soak up all this experience. So help me do that. This is all. I'm not hanging up. I'm just going on mute. Bye. Thanks, guys. Committee tomorrow. Thanks.
Are there any questions for Chair Mishler? Seeing none, are there any comments for the good of the order? Representative Bose?
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the new semester. I hope everyone had a really great break. Just an update that's really exciting from the Alternative Grading Task Force. Well, first of all, we renamed ourselves to the PI Task Force, which is fun. It's Policies Influencing Equity. We did this mainly so it can be more ongoing than just talking about alternative grading. I'll get to that a little bit later. But we met quite frequently over the break, which was really cool. And we did that so that we could have a proposal ready for last Friday, which I'm excited to say that the task force is proposing to Faculty Senate to continue alternative grading for the spring semester. Please know that this is not a decision, and this is not like a formal saying that we are continuing it. There will be a vote on it next Tuesday during Faculty Senate. and that will kind of see where everything goes. But it is exciting to say that the task force pretty much unanimously put forward the alternative grading for the spring semester. Going forward, because we're now the PI task force, we're going to be looking at grading as a whole. This includes entrance to major, GPA in general, and some other different grading intricacies. So if you've ever come into contact with any grading policies that you find problematic or anything like that, please text me them so I can, or email me or call me, Teams me, I don't know, but just send them my way so that I can introduce them to the task force. But have a great first week back, everybody.
All right, are there any other comments for the good of the order? Okay, seeing none, and seeing that Secretary Thomas has taken closing roll call, I adjourn this meeting at 8:11 p.m. Woo, thank you guys.
Nice to see y'all. Well, the 3 cameras that were on. By the way, Arathi Kohler. See you in comp sci.
Yeah, we are.
Wow. That was quick. Jeez, was that our fastest yet, or one of them? That was definitely one of our fastest.
It was our fastest,
Yeah.
and that's absolutely brutal and devastating. So
That
I'll
was-
do better to make it long the next time.
We'll make it longer
damn,
next
I'm gonna go to bed tonight and like wake up and get plenty of sleep and rest and even have time for homework. This is not what UPUA is about.
I don't know what to do with myself now that I have extra 4 hours of my day on Wednesdays.
I know, that was just insane.
Yeah, okay. Well, I gotta go and finish some stuff for my crappy ass classes, but all right.
Which class is this? Is this one of your little 800 level like shirt ripping flex classes, or?
Yeah, they're really getting to me now, you know? Like you never expect it because you're always like, okay, I'm ready for it, and they just hit you with a crap ton of work, even the first week.
You
so
were
then you're
about to
just
say
like
something
reading.
and you realized you're recording. Yeah,